the impact of this caste census that is going to happen on the tribals, what are the fears and reservations that is held in the heart of the tribals, what will be the Congress's role, our role, you and I's role to do away with these fears for the tribal people. First of all, we need to understand that tribals across India have a sense of unity amongst them. And this can be understood very well when Hasdeo Jungle in Chhattisgarh is cut down. The peoples of Jharkhand are agitated, the tribals of Jharkhand are agitated. When chaos is happening in Manipur, it is affecting the tribals of Chhattisgarh. So we need to understand that tribals in India are interconnected with their struggles, not just present but of the past also. And that is the reason that we have to see this population in a uniformity under one umbrella. This is very important. If you look at various other categories, if I can call it out loud, the SC, OBCs and the general, they do have a caste system within them. But tribal population is one such population which doesn't have caste system within the community. They have always been untouched by the caste system. So this caste census that will be conducted, we should ensure that sub-categorization in any form does not touch the tribals, because that is where the differentiation or the natural structure of this community will be disrupted. So I think I'm also convinced with Bilotiaji's concern when he spoke about sub-categorization and what effect or impact it is going to have on various communities, specifically communities like tribals. I would like to focus on this point that when we say Jal, Jangal, Jameen, these three things resonates with tribals. Why? Because our forefathers, then and now, we have never looked at land or forest as commodities. This is never a commodity for us. It is a thing for our worship, our social welfare, our bringing us together. These are the things. Why I'm telling you is because you need to understand the ideology of tribals in this country. The tribals are all about co-living, coexistence and mutual respect. These are exactly the values of Congress Party, Indian National Congress in today's date. So this party is very closely resonating with the ideology or the core ideology of tribal in this nation. Across categories, the 700 and above communities that we have, they resonate very closely with the ideology of Congress Party, and hence we need to safeguard it. Speaking of safeguarding, there are several laws, several provisions in the Constitution that has been given. I think the maximum provisions have been given in the Constitution for the safeguarding of tribals, and I don't have to mention this, that where the ideas come from. It was the Indian National Congress who has done this for the tribals across India. But still, because of the failed implementing machineries, we should accept the fact that we have failed to safeguard the tribals of the nation. This is the truth and we have to accept it. Now, if you look at the states like Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, over a period of time, the development that has happened and the sudden urbanization that has happened, it has also brought in a lot of influx of outside population in these states, in the 5th scheduled states. A lot of outside population have come in. Over a period of time, this population, I would call them a floating population, their size has increased as compared to the tribal population in the 5th scheduled area. Those have remained stagnant. Now when the caste census happens or the census happens, population will also be taken into consideration for representation. But in tribal areas, we have to understand, or we have to really rethink the idea of representation in the tribal areas. And I would like to quote from the Supreme Court case of Rakesh Kumar versus Union of India. This is related to the reservation, and in the tribal schedule area, this Supreme Court hearing talks about compensatory discrimination reservation for tribals. I'm re-stressing this again. Compensatory discriminatory representation for tribal, unlike the ordinary representations or reservations, which are mostly for adequate representation and proportionate reservation. When we are talking of reservation in other categories, in SCs, in generals also, in OBCs, we are talking about the adequate and proportionate reservations. But when it comes to tribal, you have to rethink the whole entire concept of reservation, because it talks about discriminatory, the compensatory discrimination. What is compensatory discrimination? Supreme Court also realized this, or this was debated also in the Supreme Court, that even when there are leaders or a chairperson or member of legislative assembly or MPs that are selected from these scheduled areas, they still are, their work is interfered by outside people or people from outside who are much more powerful in their culture or in their existence as compared to the tribal ones. So hence we're talking about compensatory discrimination reservation for tribals. I would want you all to understand this matter in this way. Supposedly in Jharkhand, because I come from the state of Jharkhand and from the tribe of Uraons, I would want to stress on one thing, and please try to understand this matter from this point of view. In Jharkhand, there was an influx of population from outside. Of course, like I said, floating population size has increased. Our tribal population has remained stagnant, and land alienation, etc. also. In fact, if census results come, probably we have also reduced in the size. Our size has shrunk. But today, that tribals were nowhere responsible for this happening. And today, if caste census or the population census allows during delimitation, those seats to be unreserved, and we are giving an option of their people there to vote for a non-tribal people, I mean the whole concept or the whole compelling need of protecting and safeguarding the tribal is lost there. So the point that I'm trying to make here is that when the census happens, I think this should be, or I'm sure definitely, and this is my suggestion, but we'll have to take a decision that the reserved seats will continue to stay reserved for the tribals, and population shouldn't be an indicator for getting those seats unreserved in the future. This is the point I'm trying to make. Lastly, the last concern is that the Article 25 in the Constitution gives us that right that we can profess any religion. Tribals, we know, and I'm proud that my leader Rahul Gandhi ji has the courage to accept that tribals are the original settlers, the Adivasis, Adim Kal se basne wale log. Our forefathers have fought for this country, have cleaned, have cleared the forest area to make this land settled, so that today we are able to settle in this land. That has been done by our forefathers. My leader takes pride in this. He is able to say it loud. So I think that gives us a lot of confidence and courage.